Hello, 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 beautiful people, and welcome to another stream. I hope you're all doing fantastic today. Hopefully, we don't have any technical issues today. That's been a problem here recently, but I think we're good to go. So, we're going to see who gets first in chat. We're going to bring up comments. We're going to do all that good stuff. Let you guys kind of get in here before we get started. Let's see, where's my comments? Go ahead and bring those up. Today, we're going to be talking about your inner voice should never be in disagreement. We got Brian in chat first. What's up, Brian? All right, guys, let me drop a few notifications real quick. Drop a few notifications. All right, we got Mint in chat. We got Christy, I believe. No, that's not how you say that. We got Crystal. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So today, we're not going to be waiting around too long before we get started. We're going to jump right into it today. I've got some things to do. I'm expecting a call here in a bit, so I don't want to wait around too long. I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. So, and I believe that's okay because it feels like we've already got a good amount of people in here. So, your inner voice should never be in disagreement. Your inner voice should never be in disagreement. Now, we did a stream a couple days ago where we talked about the concept of the accepting inner voice is basically a voice of agreement rather than disagreeing, which is fighting, arguing, obsessing, so forth and so on, right? And that was a really good stream. I was really, really happy with that stream, and I kind of just wanted to follow that stream up because I felt like that was like I said, just a really good stream, a beneficial stream. So today we're going to be talking about more or less the same concept. Your inner voice should never be in disagreement. Now, when you experience high levels of anxiety, the first thing you want to do as a human being, which is understandable because you're a human being and you care about the way that you feel, and you don't want to feel ways that you don't like, right? That's basically what it comes down to. You don't want to feel ways that you don't like. It's understandable that when you feel something or you have a thought that is disagreeing with you, or you're disagreeing with it rather, when you have a thought that makes you uncomfortable, or a scary thought, or a feeling that's kind of uncomfortable or intense, and when I say kinda, I know that's an understatement, right? So it's understandable that as a human being, you're going to kind of approach these symptoms, whether they be physical or mental, with sort of disagreement, right? Like, I don't want this to be here. I don't want to feel this. I don't want this to be around, right? I get it. I get it. You're a human being. Who can blame you for not wanting to feel intense symptoms? Or who can blame you for not wanting to have thoughts that are scary or, negative? I get it. But understand something. Understand something. The reason you fight is because you don't like it, correct? I think everyone, show of hands, I think everyone can agree to that. The reason you fight is because you don't like it. That is understandable. But the problem is, and you guys know this if you've been on the channel for a while now, the more you fight, the more it tends to stick around, right? These false alarms, which is what they are. These symptoms are false alarms. These thoughts are false alarms. They are not here to stay. I'm here to tell each and every one of you in chat today, you are going to be okay. These feelings are not here to stay. These thoughts are not here to stay. They are all passing. They are all temporary. They are all fleeting. The only problem is they get a little stuck. They get a little stuck more than they need to be due to your disagreement. And when I say disagreement, I mean things, it's a broad term. I mean things like fighting, arguing, wishing away, obsession, rumination. I mean all of those terms, right? When I say disagreement, I'm sort of embodying all those different negative terms. So when you tell your amygdala that there is a problem with the way that you speak to yourself, with the things that you tell yourself about your symptoms and your thoughts, right? The amygdala says, oh, there's a problem. I'll give you even more. I'll give you even more of the protection, right? And this is the cycle. This is the ongoing sort of cycle that people find themselves stuck in. So I guess my main point, guys, is that it's understandable that you want to fight against your thoughts and feelings, because as a human being, you don't necessarily want to feel anything or have any thoughts that you don't like, right? That you don't like. So that's understandable. As a human being, understandable. But you must understand how the cycle works to understand why you can't approach it that way. You can't approach it with a disagreeing inner voice, like things like arguing and fighting, because that just tells the amygdala that there's a problem. So you need to let this fear release. And that's really what it is. It's just a release. You need to let these releases happen. And that includes the physical symptoms and the thoughts, the intrusive thoughts. You need to let these releases happen while you remind yourself, hey, it's just fake fear. Why do we call it fake fear? We call it fake fear because there's no real danger around. There's no real danger. So you're keeping this inner voice of agreement rather than disagreement while you are letting the storm happen. And that doesn't mean you're going to have a fun time with the storm. That doesn't mean you're going to be jumping up in joy over the storm. But you do need to keep the accepting inner voice regardless of whether it feels like it's working or whether you feel like you believe it or not, right? Does everybody understand my point here? So you get what we're saying when we say, hey, these feelings will pass. These thoughts will pass. This is all false alarm. This is what we call fake fear. But you have to be willing to keep an inner voice of agreement rather than disagreement. And I know sometimes even speaking the words of agreement, things like, oh, this is fake fear. This is allowed to be here. It is what it is. Even speaking those words, right? You may not believe them, but you must keep speaking them, right? Don't go back to bad old habits just because you're not seeing immediate results, right? Don't go back to bad old habits because you don't necessarily believe your new inner voice. Just keep using that new inner voice whether you believe it or not, right? And you're not going to feel great during this. And I feel like that's a pretty big reason why most people kind of stop the work. They stop doing the work because they think to themselves, wow, okay, well, this isn't working, so they drop it. You can't do that because it takes time for the brain to catch up, right? It takes time for the brain to catch up. So you can't just immediately say, well, I spoke some accepting words today, but I'm going to go back to my negativity because that didn't seem to work. Doesn't work that way. There is a time lag, guys. So as you're using your positive behaviors, you're living your life, right? You're doing the positive things. You're getting things done. You're getting up. You're moving. You're doing what you got to do. Keep that accepting inner voice. That is the two keys. So, over the years, we have tried to explain what the accepting inner voice is in many different ways. And I don't know, that stream that we did on just have an inner voice of agreement rather than disagreement, I feel like that one really hit the nail on the head for a lot of people. It makes sense. If you've got a thought, just simply agree with it. If you've got a feeling, just simply agree with it, with what you tell yourself, right? Never be in disagreement, because if you're in disagreement with something, then that must mean to the brain that there is something that is causing you a problem, a threat, an issue, right? A problem, a threat, an issue. So never be in disagreement. Always try to keep that inner voice of agreement. And I know so many of you get caught up on the whole concept of, wow, well, I don't feel instantly better, right? I don't feel like I'm making much progress with this inner voice. You get caught up on that because the storm is still there, even while you're using your inner voice. But I want you to understand, if you don't take anything else from this stream today, guys, I want you to understand that the storm will still be there. It might come in waves. It might be off and on, right? I don't know. I don't know where you are in your journey, but I want you to understand that you can't give up on the accepting inner voice just because you're not seeing what some would call instant results. I feel like so many people just say, hey, screw this accepting inner voice, dude. I don't feel much better right now in this moment, so we're going to go back to the negativity. We're going to go back to the worry, right? I feel like that's where most people sort of drop the ball on that. So understand that you never want to have an inner voice of disagreement. And again, because any sort of disagreement with your inner voice tells the brain that there's what? A problem. All right, you guys. So that was the point of today's stream. I'm sorry if it felt a bit rushed or we didn't wait around long enough for some people to get in here. Like I said, I wanted to get straight to the point today. I'm expecting some things I got to do today, and I don't know when those things are going to pop up, right? I don't know when they're going to pop up, so I wanted to at least get the point of the stream done, before those things pop up and I have to take care of them. So we're going to get some music going, and for as long as we can, we are going to hang out with chat. We are going to hang out with chat. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's our music? There we go. All right, so if you've got any questions, if you're new here, this is your time. This is your time to shine and ask me the questions. Let me know how you're doing. Let's get our music rolling. Who we got in chat? We got Ghost, we got Olivia, we got Winning Mentality. What's up? We got Pi. What's up? Louise, Kate. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, beautiful people. Let me know how the music volume is, guys, because I know sometimes it's a little funky. It's a little funky. We'll switch to post just for a second here. Yeah, let me know how that music volume is. All right, all right. Wait, is my mic not on? Yeah, it is. Okay. There we go. See, I turned the autofocus off like 2 days ago. I don't know why. I don't know why it still turns itself back on. I don't think you're going crazy, Kate. I think it's just the autofocus, like Mint said. I don't think you're going crazy. Seems like this accepting way is an all or nothing one, since our nerves are very sensitive. Resistance has been practiced and easy to retreat to. I wouldn't say all or nothing. I would say practice. Right? I would say practice. I wouldn't be so quick to say all or nothing. I would be more prone to say practice, because that's really what it is. Sometimes you, sometimes you don't nail it, and sometimes you do, and that's okay. And that's why Dr. Claire Weeks love the word practice so much, because it's definitely not an all or nothing sort of situation. You know, there's going to be times where you could have done better, and that's okay. That's part of the experience. That's part of the journey. Give me just a second, guys. All right. Hello, M. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it's an all or nothing thing. It's more practice than anything else. Winning. It's more practice than anything else. I mean, should you be consistent? Yes. Should you be dedicated? Yes. Are you going to be perfect? No. No, and that's okay. That's okay. I would be lying through my teeth if I said I was perfect. I was definitely not perfect whatsoever. Puro thoughts again after a few years. Dealing with them, the guilt/anxiety it comes with has been rough. So the guilt/anxiety that comes with them, you know that's not what we call the real you. The real you is the rational you. The real you is the part of the brain that is what is called rest digest. You just have to get back into that part of the brain to get the real you back out. So all the guilt and fear that comes along with these intrusive thoughts, they can be accepted, and they should be accepted, but they can also be viewed as a temporary happening. They can be viewed as not the quote-unquote real you. So you don't have to take them too seriously is basically what we're saying. You don't have to take them too seriously. But how are you doing, McFlurry? Bacon McFlurry. An interesting name. Interesting name. Yeah, I was going to say, man, I don't recognize the name either. It's basically about talking yourself through the storm, guys. You know, if you're new here, I want you to understand one thing. It really comes down to just talking yourself through the storm rather than working yourself up through the storm, right? It's about talking yourself through the storm rather than working yourself up during the storm. So you can always go two different directions when you have anxiety that's present, right? And it doesn't matter what form that anxiety takes, whether it be mental symptoms, physical symptoms, or both, vice versa. That's all irrelevant. It doesn't matter what the context of your intrusive thoughts are. That's all irrelevant, right? It's all about talking yourself through that storm. And the two routes are this. You can either work yourself up during the storm with what you tell yourself, or you can switch that and practice anew what Dr. Claire Weeks called accepting inner voice, and talk yourself through the storm. Talk yourself through the storm. And I don't mean fighting with the specifics of the thoughts. I don't mean fighting with the feelings. I mean simply reminding yourself, hey, this is okay. This fake fear is allowed to be here. I'm going to allow this to happen. I'm going to allow this alarm to happen. Now, you might not have much confidence behind those new words, but you speak them anyway, because that's what practice is. It's to do something without much confidence, right? So it's all about talking yourself through the storm, guys, and that storm will pass. That storm will pass. I know sometimes it feels like it's just never gonna pass. But I'm here to tell you, it always passes. It always passes. It always will pass, especially if you're not working yourself up during. And working yourself up is gonna come down to what you tell yourself, right? That is fundamental, crucial. If you are not telling yourself the accepting things, the right things, right? And you are still fighting and being very negative. That's really what that comes down to, being really negative. Then you're just going to make it so much worse on yourself, right? So what are the two main keys? You talk yourself through the storm, and you continue to live positive behaviors. That is the two main keys. That's the two things that's going to get you there. You talk yourself through the storm, and you live through the storm. Positive behaviors, right? So understand that you have to practice, you have to find and practice and get creative with that accepting inner voice, and really, really build it up. Really build it up. All right, let's see here. Catching fake fear after all the years of negative commentary is like a reward. It is. Well, it's to catch yourself adding negativity and then just say, you know what, this is just false alarm. This is just fake fear. I don't have to fight with this. I don't have to partake in a bunch of negative commentary that then tells the amygdala, hey, there's a danger, when there's not, right? And it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. Did we not lose the streak? We almost did. We almost lost the streak last time, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because why I never updated it, I don't know. We haven't actually gotten any tips. I don't know why that said 50. I guess I never cleared it from last time. Anyway, we did end up hitting the streak last time. We were on the ending screen. When somebody saved the streak, so... And if I wouldn't have checked my phone, I wouldn't have known. So it was quite the experience there. One of the hardest things for me is the negative intrusive thoughts, the I can't get better no matter how much I try. And to that you respond with, okay. You're not going to fight with that, right? An intrusive thought says, oh, you're doomed. And you just say, okay, well, that's part of being in fight or flight, is that I'm going to have irrational thoughts like that. And it is. That is a part of being in fight or flight. When you are in fight or flight, you're going to experience a ton of irrational thoughts. That is a part of being in fight or flight. When you're in the anxious state, when you're in that anxiety body and mind, right, the mind becomes very negative with its thoughts. And that's just a part of being in fight or flight. We did a whole stream on that not long ago. So to that you say, okay, well, that's fight or flight talking, and that's okay, right? Of course, my mind is wired to be very negative because I'm in fight or flight, and that's fine. Right? Mitt and Maddie are the FBI of the community. It's the truth. It's the truth. Hey, Chris, you say anxiety learns best when it's switched on. Can you explain this? Thanks. It only learns when it's switched on, right? So, anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on, because you have what's called fear pathways in the brain. When the amygdala is fully turned on and activated, which basically means you feel terrible, right? That's when it's willing to learn. That's when it's willing to rewrite these fear pathways in your brain. So there's an old saying that goes, you have to activate to generate, which means you have to activate the fear, so it's there. And you don't have to do that on your own. I'm pretty sure that happens already, right? Or you wouldn't be here. So you have to activate the fear, and then you have access to the brain. You have access to teach the brain new things. It only learns while these pathways are activated. So you have to activate to generate is how that goes, right? It's so wild. I don't realize how negative I was until I found y'all. Yeah, I mean, adding the second fear, which is basically just negative things that you continue to preach to yourself over your symptoms, is a habit. And a lot of people don't even realize they're doing it until they find someone like Dr. Claire Weeks or this channel, right? Sherry, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing great. I love the pumpkin emoji. Yes, it's that time of year. It's so chilly here, guys. It is so chilly. I love it, though, because that's a sign of a fall approaching. Right? I think the toughest part for me is accepting and letting the thoughts pass. Yeah, it's a habit, like we just said, right? It's a habit to want to fight with those thoughts. And any of you can break a habit, guys. That's really what this all is. It's a habit. What you tell yourself about your symptoms, be it mental or physical, is a habit. All this comes down to a habit. And when you put it like that, it sounds much more understandable, right? And you're much more willing to probably work on it when you realize that this is all just a habit and not something bigger than that, right? I know it feels bigger than that, but really that's what this is a habit. I love seeing the Halloween themed emojis. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys know I love Halloween. So if I missed any of your questions, please feel free to comment them again. I may have, we got a lot of good questions in today. Got a lot of good questions in today. You can read about how to swim, but the brain pathways about swimming don't form until you're in the water. I love it. Perfect analogy, Mint. You can learn about how to use the acceptance method, and you can learn about how to tell yourself new things about your thoughts and feelings and teach your brain that these things are not real dangers. You can learn about all that good stuff, which is what you do here. But if you're not in the water, aka if you're not doing that while you feel anxious, then, really the question is, what good does it do then? What good does it do? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. If anybody is in the range of the hurricane, I hope you're staying safe. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. It's a little bit of an odd time for us. It's not exactly a morning stream, and it's not exactly a late afternoon stream either. We're here about middays, so afternoon rather would be a better way to put that. Halloween is my thing. Yes. Halloween party every year, getting geared up for that. Nice, get excited. You got to feel it to heal it. Yeah, that's something we used to say quite often here on the channel. That used to be one of our favorite little quotes. One of our favorite little quotes. All right, I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see if I did miss any questions. Because I very well may have. Scrolling. I will get to all the questions coming in. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, hold on a second, guys. I'm getting a call. I will be right back. All right, apologies. I have returned. No, actually, it was a food order, Kate. But good guesses. You missed the mark by quite a bit, but still good guesses nonetheless. Has returned with a vengeance because I'm having family problems. Sat through intense panic attacks today, and they were over so quick due to acceptance. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, I was absolutely starving. Is the hurricane going to reach you, Wonderbro? We're having some winds and rain. We might have a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, but nothing like major. Let me see. I'll bring up the forecast. All right, actually, we're on a flood watch until tomorrow at 8 a.m., so I guess we're going to get a lot of rain today. All right, I take back what I said. Let's see, flood watch and some winds. 20 to 30, not too bad. Higher elevations. Wait, that's for Northwest North Carolina, Central, South Central. Okay, there we go. So there I am. Okay. So yeah, some winds and maybe some flooding. Some winds and maybe some flooding. Interesting. Interesting. Check it out, guys. I could be a spokesperson. Central North Carolina, gotcha. Okay. All the schools and stuff are closed here. Normally we're not really affected by hurricanes, but proud of you, Olivia. Proud of you, by the way. What's up, Jennifer? Let's see. Kate's bullying me today, so today I ignore Kate. That's how that goes. Kate hates me today, but she'll love me tomorrow. It's a very toxic relationship that we have. Yeah, no, normally we don't get bothered by any sort of hurricanes. Oof, this is hot. This is hot. Ow. When Kate's a lover, she's a lover. But when she's a fighter, she's a fighter. And I've learned not to fight against it. What kind of food you get? I got an American steak and cheese and pizza. American steak and cheese and pizza. A lot of this will be for later. I currently need a fair bit of therapy to get through it, but I'm so determined to heal and build a great life for myself. And I'm telling you, it's all going to come down to what you tell yourself. I feel like there's a huge, what's a good word for it? A huge hurdle that people face when it comes to maintaining the inner voice. maintaining the inner voice. And I think we could all agree when I say that, you know, we're all guilty. I know I'm so guilty of doing this during my journey. It was probably my biggest mistake. So guilty of not maintaining that inner voice just because it can be so intense at times. The symptoms can be so intense at times. You're not quite consistently using a good inner voice through the storms because you feel like it won't make a difference. So you go right back to bad old habits, right? You go right back to the negativity, you go right back to the worry because it's just so intense at times that you give up on the accepting inner voice, right? That's what it really is. I feel like most people go through that hurdle. Most people go through that hurdle. And until you get consistent with that inner voice, no matter how strong the storm is, that's the key right there. Until you get consistent with that inner voice, no matter how strong the storm is, you're going to keep dropping the inner voice and keep running in circles, right? And keep running in circles. I'll just sit here quietly now. I mean, you can feel free to continue to bully me if you would like, but just know that it leads to severe depression for me. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with contributing to my severe depression, then that's fine. You can bully me. I'll be your punching bag. You can definitely get comfortable with your situation. I did. Absolutely. If you're willing to develop and practice the consistency with the inner voice. Do you have to process all of your past trauma to heal, or are the keys enough to move on without processing stuff? Well, the keys in themselves are processing stuff, right? The keys in themselves are processing stuff. So when we say, do you have to process your past traumas to heal? When you think about what acceptance is, it is to allow yourself to have thoughts of the past because they're going to pop up on their own, but it's to have them in an accepting way with an accepting inner voice instead of trying to fight against them. So in itself, the two keys really do consist of what you would call processing things in a accepting way, processing things in an accepting way, right? And any sort of therapy for, and I'm not going against therapy. If you want to go get therapy, please do. Share. Thank you so much. Let's get some purple hearts in the chat. Thank you. Let me finish my thought real quick before I forget. If you want to go to therapy, go to therapy. But if you think about what the two main keys are, they really are accepting and processing things in an accepting way, and that includes thoughts of the past of trauma, right? But thank you so much, Cher. Let's get some purple hearts in the chat. Kate, don't make a sad face. You know I'm joking. You don't give me severe depression when you bully me. Only sometimes. I'm joking. Get some purple hearts in the chat, guys. Get some purple hearts. Let's see. Wonder Bro, you're making me hungry. All I've had is soup today. All I had when I first woke up was some peanut butter and graham crackers for some protein, and that was it. I'm absolutely starving. Did I have any therapy? No, I never tried therapy. Ghost, thank you for the purple hearts. I'm sorry, I can't wait to eat, guys. I'm just eating right on stream here. Thank you, Cher, for the 20. Let me update the tip goal. We are on a 207-day streak. We are 30 away from moving on to 208. Thank you guys so much. My mom and sister is taking meds, and my mom is in therapy. Nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Can you believe I'm working 30 hours a week now, Wonder Bro? AP, I'm so proud of you, dude. APC, you're the man. You're the man. I do remember. I do. When you know you're starting to heal, does it come fairly quickly, or is it a long process with time? It's a gradual process. You're going to have ups and downs. That's normal. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. Yeah, that's definitely their choice to make, Sherry, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You can, like you said, you can still use the 2 keys. My daughter has major anxiety over dumb stuff. Any idea on how to guide her? Depends on how willing she is to listen, right? It could just be chalked up as normal, which I don't know how old your daughter is, but it could just be chalked up as normal defiance and just growing up. But it depends on how willing she is to listen, really. I mean, you've got all the skills that you've learned from the channel already, right? So you got everything. You could easily pass that on to her if you wish. Is it normal to lose hair from stress? It can happen. It can happen. What were your anxiety triggers? Do you think knowing triggers is important? For me, it was a ton of intrusive thoughts, and there was a ton of different themes. It wasn't just one particular theme. There was a ton of different themes. She's 6. Oh, she's 6? I have no... Good luck. That's all. That's the only advice I got for you there. Good luck. I don't know how you can teach a 6-year-old the 2 main keys. Yeah, I would have no idea really how to approach that. I would have no idea how to approach that with a 6-year-old. That one's actually got me stumped. I'm not sure exactly how you would go about teaching that to a 6-year-old. I mean, you can try to like take the advice and spin it and break it down to maybe her level of understanding, but yeah, that one's got me stumped. I'm not really sure. And then again, it could just be one of those things where as time goes on and time moves forward, she turns out to be just fine, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know the backstory here. I don't know if it's just like normal. Yeah, I have no idea. She even stopped eating for a week because she thought she was going to choke. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you would take the advice that you've learned here and put that on her level of understanding. I wish I could answer that. I guess I've never thought about that. How would you explain this advice to like a 6-year-old, for example? I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do a little homework on that for you. Spinning things, yeah, like trying to put it on her level. That's the only thing I can really, I could really come up with. All right, guys, give me just a second. We'll be right back. If you got any questions, continue to ask them. We're back. Kate says, let's see, thanks, so sad and heartbreaking to see her with anxiety. Kate says, responds with, my best guess would maybe just be exposure to do with her and just be there for her support. Try to guide her with an accepting dialogue. Yeah, Kate is probably more equipped to answer that question than I am. Kate is a mother herself and a very good one, so she could probably give you a little bit more insight than I could on that topic. Kate is awesome. Couldn't agree more. Kate is awesome. Is being jumpy at sudden loud noises an anxiety symptom? Absolutely. When your nerves are on edge, dude, they're willing to pop off over just about anything, including just a loud noise, right? Where does this come from? I wish I could answer that too. There's always the possibility, and I want you to understand this. There's also the possibility that as time goes on and moves forward, and she grows up, that this could be something that she puts behind her. Right? There's nothing that says just because she's an anxious child that she's going to grow up to be an anxious adult. There's nothing written in stone that says that's 100% guaranteed going to happen. There's a possibility that this could be what's called a phase, right? And, I'm not saying you should write it off as just a phase, but I am saying that there's a possibility that it very well could be. She could grow up to be perfectly fine as far as anxiety is concerned, right? So there is that possibility. So don't be so quick to tell yourself, oh, this is how she's going to be for the rest of her life, and no, it's not a guarantee. There's nothing written in stone that says just because she's having some issues now that she's always going to have issues. That's not true. I mean, I've heard kids say some pretty concerning things, right? I've heard kids of all ages say some pretty concerning things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to grow up to face a life of anxiety. It's, kids say some wild things sometimes. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to grow up to face an entire life of anxiety, right? Like, that's just not a 100% guarantee. How to get positive? It's not necessarily that you have to be a overly positive person. It's just that you have to respond. Let me turn the music down. That's a little loud. It's just that you have to start responding to the thoughts and feelings of anxiety without a fight, right? So it's not that you got to be overly positive about them with the accepting inner voice. It's that you at least got to start responding to them without a fight. So telling yourself things like, this feeling is allowed to be, this false alarm is allowed to be, it is what it is, this feeling is healing. Sorry, I'm burpy. So it's not that you have to take on the very stressful task of trying to be an overly positive person 24/7, because that would be a very stressful task. It's just that you have to start responding to it without a fight. There's a difference there, right? See, when I'm eating cheese sticks, I don't just eat one at a time. I take them and I fold them over like this. Holy shit. We're good. I know I'm sitting over here stuffing my face and shit, guys, but you can still ask your questions, okay? Thank you. The channel has helped me get through to what I believe is the healing phase of anxiety. If you do like Wonder Bros says, you will recover. Thank you. Rich, you are awesome, dude. And for anybody reading Rich's comment thinking, what did he do? He simply listened to what I had to say, right? He used the accepting inner voice, some sort of statement. He used it consistently, even when he didn't want to, and he continued to live his life. And the reason I can say that without even asking him is because I understand that Rich is one of those people who comes in, takes the advice, and uses it, and you can all do the same thing. Somebody's got to stop me from eating at some point. Somebody's got to stop me from eating because I am overeating right now so bad. I've already ate that whole steak sandwich and now I'm eating a ton of cheese sticks. I wish I had more to say about the conversation that you guys are on. But I feel as if someone without a child, I can't really give much input. Other than if you can find some way to make you know, acceptance speak to her and make sense at that age, Is it takeout you're having? Just pizza. But the pizza place has like steak subs and stuff like that. She's so young and doesn't get it. Yeah, that's the problem. I think whatever you decide to do with that, don't be so quick to write it off as an I'm screwed situation, because you're definitely not. We can work with it. We can figure it out. Alright, I gotta put this food in the fridge, because if I don't, I'm gonna overeat. Like I already have. Maybe just one more bite won't hurt. Maybe just one more bite won't hurt. That's fine, that won't hurt, right? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so full that I might die. Alright guys, I'm sorry that I stopped to have lunch in the middle of a stream, but I was starving. I was on the brink of starvation, you have to understand. Soccer Mom! Thank you so much! Thank you so much. Get some hearts in the chat. Purple hearts in the chat for Soccer Mom says, remember when I asked, why am I so forgetful during anxiety? So forgetful that I can only remember one of the two keys. I keep forgetting what the accepting inner voice is. Now I know. How good can memory be when I'm being chased by a bear? Exactly. But the only thing you need to remember is that the bear is fake. That can be your accepting inner voice right there. That's the only thing you need to remember. What the freak, dude? Richmond with the $30 tip. Let's see. So that's 30 after Soccer Moms, 40, 50, 60. Out of nowhere, we have hit tip goal. We've not only hit tip goal, but we have broken tip goal. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Let's get some purple hearts in the chat for Rich, who says, thank you for your words of healing. Thank you so much, Rich, for your support, dude. And let's see. Shareed, thank you. Soccer Mom, thank you. Get some purple hearts, guys. Those just came out of nowhere. Thank you guys so much. Olivia, thank you for the purple hearts. Mint, thank you. Stoller, there are so many children books. That's a good idea. I never considered that. See, this is why you got to ask Kate these things. This is why you got to ask Kate these things. I just feel like I'm being hypocritical if I try to give you advice on your child's life without actually being a parent myself. Hypothetically speaking, if I was a parent myself and my child was showing signs of severe anxiety, number one, I wouldn't be so quick to freak out. I wouldn't be so quick to freak out and then project that onto her. Because if you're quick to freak out and project that onto her, how's that going to do for her anxiety levels? It's going to make them worse, right? It's going to make them worse. You don't smoke in your room? Only after I eat. Only after I eat, because it's either I go to the BRB screen and have to go smoke, or I just do it right here. So I'm giving myself one because I just ate, and it's the best cigarette of the day after you eat. Kind of what Mint just said. If you project the stress of her showing signs of anxiety back onto her through your interactions because you're stressed, then that's just only going to compound the problem, right? So the thing about anxiety is you don't want to take it seriously, and that's what everyone's doing when they try to fight with it mentally and physically. They take it very seriously. You don't want to take it seriously. If you want anxiety to back off, then you've got to stop sending signals to the brain that says this is serious. So when you get stressed because you see somebody else experiencing anxiety and then you project your stress onto them, right, then they're going to take it even more seriously, the person going through it, right? Is going to make it worse. So I really, really enjoy Mint's comments there. Anxiety has to stop being taken seriously because the person experiencing it, their problem is they're taking it seriously, which is telling their brain there's a problem, right? So the cure, you could call it, to anxiety is to stop taking it seriously. You do that, of course, by what you tell yourself and just continuing living. But if you're taking it very seriously and then you're projecting that sort of energy back onto her, then she's going to take it more seriously too. And if she takes it more seriously too, that's going to give more power to the stress, right? Which is the cycle. But yeah, I really enjoy Mint's comment there. I keep struggling with mornings. Could you please some advice for help? Don't sit there in your head thinking about how bad you feel in the mornings. That's not going to get you anywhere, and that's what most people do with morning anxiety. They lay there and they think about how bad they feel. Don't do that. I would say don't do that. What you want to do, if you want to continue to lay there and relax, okay. If you want to get up, okay. But you can't sit there and think about how bad you feel because, again, just like I said to Mint just now and Style Alert just now, anxiety you have to stop taking it seriously. It's all of the taking it seriously with the mental fighting that you're doing that just creates more of the problem, right? So if you wanted, if somebody said, hey, you can only tell people one thing, I would say stop taking it seriously. Stop telling yourself serious things about it, right? Because again, taking it seriously is what signals to the amygdala that there's a problem, Thank you guys again, by the way. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you, Soccer Mom. Thank you guys for not only hitting the tip goal today, but breaking the tip goal. I really appreciate it. And again, my sincerest apologies for having to have lunch on stream. I was so hungry. Stop taking things so seriously. Yes, I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. You can call it stop adding fear. You can call it stop adding second fear. But really what it comes down to is stop taking it so seriously. That's really what that means. And when you take something seriously, what do? You fight with it. You worry about it. You argue with it. You do all of these mental activities when you take something seriously. And when you don't take something seriously, you don't do any of those mental activities. You just say, oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, well, that is what it is, right? You do the opposite of taking it seriously. So really, you could take all of the advice and boil it down to just stop taking it seriously. That's really one. We've been doing this for 6 years, and I've put it thousands of different ways. You can go ahead and add that to the tally. Just stop taking it seriously. That's another way you could put it. I love trying to find new ways to put it because sometimes it speaks for different people, right? Different terms speak for different people. So I always love it when we stumble across a new way to put it. Stop taking it seriously. Hey, Wonder Bro, I enjoy your streams. You have really helped me a lot. Much love, brother. Appreciate you. Luis? No, that's not it. That's Luis. I got you confused with somebody else. Luis. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. If it's not, I apologize. But thank you so much for the kind words, dude. Thank you for watching and supporting. I appreciate you. I love all of you guys so much. Don't apologize for eating. We don't mind. I felt like it was a little distracting, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you guys don't mind. Is there a reason why it's hard to move forward and accept? Yes, because you're going against fight or flight, and fight or flight is extremely good at its job. Its job is to save your life. So when you say, I'm not taking you seriously, and you get up and live, and you go against it, yeah, that's why there's like such a gravitational, almost yank to go the other way and to fight, because that is fight or flight trying to yank you into fight or flight, right? It wants you to worry. It wants you to stop living. It wants you to go against the two main keys, and to use the two main keys is to go against it, and to go against it feels so hard because its fight or flight is very good at its job, right? So it's supposed to feel that way, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's supposed to feel that way, and if it does feel that way, great. You just keep using those two main keys anyway. I got it the first time, so it's Luis, not Lewis. I don't know, man. As long as you're cool with either one. People on this channel have accepted that I'm going to call them just whatever I can manage at this point. Everybody knows I'm awful with trying to pronounce names. Yeah, so the dramatic cleaning. So, you know, if there's vomit, nobody wants to say the word, but you have to face your fears, all right? So if there's vomit and you dramatically clean the vomit in front of your daughter, then there's a chance that she's probably going to take the act of throwing up as something more serious than it is, right? Than something more serious than it is. So you see how connections are made. Now, the good news is this is very, very early. This is very, very early. And nothing is set in stone yet, right? Nothing is set in stone yet. So that's the good news. We can change everything literally starting today. And that'll be much easier to do, to change her perspective towards this vomiting thing. That'll be much easier to do through your own actions at the age of 6 than it will be at the age of 30. So you should actually be celebrating the fact that it's so early. It's so early. It's so early. Now, that doesn't mean if you are 30 with some false beliefs and some negativity and resistance that you're screwed. It just means that you've got a little bit more work to do, and that's okay. No, Miss Style Alert. That won't help us here, saying things like, oh, God, I've been making it worse, and oh, my God, without no... That won't help us here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Blah, blah, blah. Let's throw that away. Let's focus on the solution. We're all about solutions here, and we're not about, oh, my God. How long did it take you till the two main keys worked? Timeline's different for everyone. Timeline's different for everyone. There is no set time. In fact, the more you ask the question, how long will it take, the further away you're going to get from truly relaxing into the symptoms, right? Because the whole time that you're freaking out and worrying about how long it's going to take, that's not the accepting inner voice at all. That's a very disagreeing, negative, fighting inner voice that's going to signal to the brain that there's a problem when there's not. So the conversation of timeline is not only futile, pointless, but it's very, very, very stressful. And it will keep you, in itself, it will keep you from making as much progress as you should be the more time you spend on that topic, that subject, and worrying about timelines. So I know that's not the answer you were looking for, but I will say that you can make rather quick progress. The concrete stuff will come in time, whether that's weeks or months, I don't know. But you can make rather quick progress. You can turn a bad day into a pretty good day with the two main keys, right? But if you want that 100% concrete results, which means symptoms fade away and they just stop coming altogether, right? Or they slow down, whatever, that takes time. That takes a little bit of time. So you see how the topic of timelines are just so bad. They're just so bad. People freak out over that topic. People start to worry about that topic. And here's the thing. I couldn't give you an answer on how long it'll take for you to see 100% results, even if I tried. I could not give you an answer to that. I couldn't. There's just no possible way to give you an answer to that. But that's not a bad thing. As long as you're using the two main keys, then the subject of timeline shouldn't even matter. If you're truly using the two keys, if you're truly using an accepting inner voice, when the thought of, oh God, how long will it take pops up, you just respond to that without a fight. And you say, okay, there's that false fear again, right? It is what it is. If you were truly using the accepting inner voice, the topic of timelines wouldn't even come into play. It wouldn't even come into play. But you are right. The urge to do that is very strong when you're in fight or flight, because that's fight or flight's job. So, yeah. Damn, missed the punchline. We're basically just talking about how your inner voice should always just never be in a state of disagreement. Never be in a state of disagreement with your symptoms or thoughts. When you're in fight or flight and you're having these intrusive thoughts and these feelings, you should always just go with the flow rather than go against the flow. You should always just have an inner voice of okay, right? You should always just have an inner voice of this false fear is here, this fake fear is here, that's fine. Right? You should never try to fight with it. And you know, it's basically just a stream that we've done already 100 times that we're just rehashing because it's so important. But yeah. Unless this is your first time here on the channel, then you've already heard me talk about this particular topic many times. It's just always good to come back to. Because we all know anxious people, they tend to learn the advice and then not use it. So to have to revisit the same topic many times is just something that we do here because that's just a part of recovery. Hey guys, what's up? Factual, how you doing, dude? We're past our hour mark, but we're gonna keep it going for a little bit longer. I just gotta grab a drink real quick, guys, and I'll be right back. I didn't have a drink with my food. I don't know what's up with me. Okay, who is still with me? Who's still with me? Because if you're still with me, I have a special treat for you. A very special treat for you. I'm serious. This is not a joke. I'm not playing around. I've got a very special, if you're still here watching the stream, then congratulations, because I've got a very special treat for you. I'm gonna wait and see who's still here. Who's still here? So recently, and when I say recently, I mean like literally yesterday, I got a new pet. This just now dawned on me. I just now thought about this. I got a new pet. And I got the pet right here with me. And I'm going to show you the new pet. Who's ready? Who's ready? So everybody knows Nova. Nova's been here for many years. Everybody loves Nova. Nova's the OG. But we've got a new addition. We've got a new addition to the Wonder Bro family. We have a new addition to the team, to the community. We have a new mascot. Nova's still the mascot. We have two mascots now. Okay? Who's ready to see? Who is ready to see? BB. Say hello to BB. BB! 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 Say hello, everyone. Say hello to everyone. So BB is a little chihuahua. A little chihuahua. Puppy power. All right, BB. All right, BB. She's so chill. Or he is so chill. He's so chill. Alright, guys. We're gonna take BB and put him back down. And we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Proper furball. Teach him to talk. Oh yeah, with all those fancy little buttons or whatever. People been doing that. It's like a viral thing on social media. I don't know. They look cool. They look cool. Play outside. Rupert. Rupert. Is it normal to feel frightened off the feelings you get from anxiety, or maybe it's just me? No, first fear is going to be there, right? So you're going to feel frightened, and do not try to hold yourself to impossible standards of not feeling frightened. It's all about allowing yourself to feel frightened. It's all about keeping the accepting inner voice, the agreeing inner voice while you do feel frightened. So if you're trying to use the accepting inner voice while telling yourself, oh, don't feel frightened, well, then you're doing it wrong. You're setting impossible standards for yourself. First fear is going to be there, like it or not. So it's okay to feel afraid. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. In fact, that's a part of it. You're going to feel afraid. It's just about keeping the accepting inner voice while you feel afraid, instead of adding negativity. So there you go. Maybe that's a crucial mistake. And when I say crucial, I mean crucial. Maybe that's a crucial mistake that you were making. I do like the name Rupert, by the way, Kate. I don't know. It's kind of growing on me. Kind of growing on me a little bit. Luis, I think I said that right. Thank you for the $5 tip, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you. $5 Cash App. Get some purple hearts in the chat. Not only have we hit tip goal today, we have broken tip goal. Was that a tip for BB? Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. That's 65, guys. Get some purple hearts in the chat, man. Get some purple hearts going. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Love you guys. Oh, are you talking about teaching Mr. BB how to talk, Mint? I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but I do love the little button things. I've seen people teach their dogs that. It's really interesting. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm to that age now where I use the word neat. I'm to the age where the word neat is just a expected part of my vocabulary. Love you too, bro. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. So much positivity today. Thank you, guys. I love to see it. I love it. I love it. Feels good. You've impacted so many lives in such a positive way. You deserve it. Thank you for that, dude. Appreciate you. Like I said, I love the positivity. Thank you. Thank you. I can't believe I had planned to show you guys BB like near the beginning of the stream, and then I just got wrapped up in the point of the stream, forgot all about it. I'm glad I remembered. That is our second mascot here on the channel now. We've got 2 mascots. You couldn't pick a completely... You couldn't, if you tried, to pick a completely different duo of dogs than I have now with the Pit Bull and the Chihuahua. Although they're not allowed around each other right now because Nova thinks that BB is a chew toy or a snack, and that almost went really bad, and thankfully it didn't. So yeah, as of right now, they are not allowed to be around each other, but that's okay, you know, maybe one day. Because you gotta understand, BB is the size of what Nova's used to having as like a stuffed animal or a chew toy. So to, you know, to Nova, that's very much just a toy that barks and a toy that walks, so... I tried to introduce them safely, and thankfully I took some precautions, or it could have went bad, but yeah. I've kind of got the idea of how she feels about BB right now, and it's not good. You know what? When a what-if thought comes up, sometimes you get so agitated to the point where you shout, yeah, I mean, but don't put too much negative emotion into it, you know? Kind of blow it off. Just blow it off. Just kind of blow it off, you know? She is good with other dogs. Like, she's good with other dogs, but I think it's where BB is so small and tiny, she doesn't realize her own strength. Like, she doesn't understand her own power. Nova doesn't. So she gets really rough, and she plays really rough, and she treats BB, or I don't know, she acts like she wants to treat BB like a chew toy, and I'm not willing to take the risk. But she is good with other dogs. I'm just afraid that she doesn't know her own strength and would end up hurting BB without meaning to. Because she gets really hyper. She gets really hyper and just, yeah, she'd probably step on her and hurt her by accident. All right. All right, guys. I'm probably going to wind it down here in just a little bit. I see the numbers are dropping. People are ready to go on about their days, and who can blame them? We've been here for almost an hour and a half, so I'm probably going to wind it down here in just a bit. But if anybody's got any questions, last-minute questions, feel free to get those in. But we are going to be ending in here in just a moment. Do you think she also feels competitive about her family situation changing? I don't know. She just wags her tail super fast, which is usually a good sign, right? She gets really excited, wags her tail super fast, and then like pounces and just gets way too rough. And that's kind of the vibe that I was getting from her yesterday when I tried to introduce the two. Of course, I had Nova by the collar the whole time, and she just kept acting like she wanted to pounce and just run. And yeah, I was really afraid that if I let her go, that dog would just like trample BB. So I didn't let it happen. But yeah, I think it's mostly just excitement, and she doesn't realize how much bigger she is and how much more power she has, and it would just be like, she would hurt her, but it would be on accident. I keep saying her. BB's a boy. Nova's a girl, BB's a boy. I'm gonna try again though until they become like, until Nova realizes that she has to be a bit more gentle and she can calm down around her. I guess it's where it's just she's a new face, or he's a new face. I'm gonna keep trying until Nova chills and they can get along and just be around each other, because I think they would be the most adorable friends ever in existence. Could you imagine? Could you imagine big old Nova and little BB all friendly like? The funny thing is, BB is probably going to have more attitude than Nova. Are you discriminating, Kate? It's 2022. You can't do that. You actually cannot do that. You are banned. 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 I got the name BB from like the little pellets because he's so tiny. Went to the dentist and got numbed up. Thought I was having a panic attack. Doctor said the numbing medicine has pure adrenaline, eye-opening. That chemicals create panic. Yeah, it's all chemical, right? It's all stress hormone chemical, protection chemicals, you could call them. Oh, come on, Kate. You act like you're the one who gets bullied and that you don't come in here and bully me. See, Kate comes in here, bullies me for an hour straight, and then plays victim. I don't understand. I don't understand. She acts like she has it so hard around here, when really, I'm the victim. She bullies me. Have I said anything mean about Kate today? Anything at all? No, not a single time. In fact, I complimented her multiple times. So, no ma'am. No ma'am. Play nice, guys. You must be new here. You must be new here, Factual. Me and Kate do this at least once a stream. I don't know, we have days where we don't do that. But it's pretty commonplace. It's pretty commonplace. It's all out of love. You'll understand one day. You'll understand one day. If you hang out long enough on this stream, you'll understand. We claim that it's not out of love. It's all out of love. At the end of the day, it's all out of love. I don't think Ghost understood the reference there. I think he took it a little bit too literally with the where's the nukes. I don't think she quite meant it that way, but okay, maybe she did. I don't know. Maybe she did. I mean, we've had like a few serious arguments, not me and Kate, but like just in the community as a whole. We've had a few serious arguments break out, but nothing too major. Like it's to be expected. But for the most part, we all just like joke and pick on each other. How do I accept that Ghost thinks I am no one? Well, you know, that caught me off guard, and I really don't have any spur-of-the-moment advice for that. I guess you just have to come to terms with the fact that Ghost is Ghost, and Ghost is gonna ghost, and there's nothing we can do about Ghost ghosting. We have to come to terms that there's nothing we can do about Ghost ghosting. Alright, beautiful people. We're at that hour-and-a-half mark. It's been a good stream. We've had a lot of good questions today. I enjoyed the topic of today's stream. We had some fun. We had some laughs. Thank you guys so much. At the end of the day, nothing but love here. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. As I always say, you know, the advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. So please go out there and use that advice today. Have that accepting inner voice. Use those positive behaviors. And I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, as always, love you so much. I really, really do. Stay awesome.